gone grey and you feel like your outfits are doing nothing for you, it's because our hair colour changing has altered our contrast, and now some colours just make us disappear. So I'm going to go through the colours that may now age us and what to swap them for. And of course, as always, you can totally ignore these generalisations and just wear what you want. There's one big takeaway. There is one colour that we can all get away with, and I'll be talking about that at the end of the video, so do watch all the way through to hear that one very, very, very big tip. Now, silver or grey hair reflects cool light, and so those yellow colours and yellow beiges that we used to wear clash, and in my case it made me look ill. So generally those neutral colours with a yellow undertone make us look tired, washed out, older. They're sitting too close to our skin tone, creating a low contrast haze. And we already have grey hair that is removing warmth from our face. So by adding warmth in our clothes, it's going to create a bit of a clash. The effect is that our face just disappears into that colour. Now, the lady on the left does look warm toned, so you would think the warm toned beiges would work, but is she popping? And the reason is because what's going to suit us when we've gone grey is going to be decided not just by our skin tone or undertone. It's also going to include our hair colour, which is a low pigment and cool now, and it's going to include contrast and clarity near the face. So when she had some warm pigment in her hair, that beige would likely have worked. So even warm skin tones need some contrast once the hair goes grey. Warm undertones don't disappear, yes, but grey hair changes how much contrast we need. So then why the grey on the right works better even though she's warm. It separates clearly from her skin, reflects light upwards, creates definition at the jawline and restores the contrast. Her eyes are looking brighter, her smile fresher, and you see her face before you see what she's wearing. So what can we wear instead? If you've got warm undertone, the warm ivories, and if you've got a cool undertone, the cool whites, icy whites, cool taupes, soft greys, a cool charcoal, cool toned mushroom. And if when you're wearing those cooler neutrals you still feel washed out, then add a pop of colour, bright lipstick, a scarf, jacket, layer over items on top, in raspberry colours, in magenta, in a cobalt. And if you want to wear a neutral, light, monochromatic look in the summer, then add texture. Use different materials, linens, cottons, denims, and jewellery. And remember, we can also add contrast by wearing glasses. It could be our prescription glasses, or when the sun's out, low in the sky in the winter, or in the summer when we tend to wear sunglasses, but wear them in the winter as well when the sun's low in the sky. Those sunglasses are adding that depth and contrast to our face too. Now, we're sometimes told, if we've gone grey like me, that I'm now a soft summer, which means I need to wear soft colours. It's very easy to confuse that with dusky colours and think, well, okay, I need to wear dusky. Well, actually, duskies are often mixed with a warm, muddy beige, which is going to be the wrong sort of softness, making us look sallow, don't reflect light, making us look dull and giving us low contrast against our face, just as those warm neutrals were doing as well in the earlier example. So we're looking for soft and clear pastels, clear soft blush, raspberry, cornflower blue, cool pinks, periwinkle, a light chambray. And to demonstrate how the wrong light pink and the right light pink work, here is myself in a muted soft light pink. Now this works on me, and you can tell it works on me because my face pops, my eyes pop, there's clarity around my eyes, there's structure around my jawline, and actually the colour itself, although it's soft, it is also popping. There's definition between my face and my piece of clothing. On the other hand, here is a dusky pink to avoid. See how the look is completely bland Nothing in the features, in either the colour nor the lady's face, are popping. The colour's absorbing light. And that's the difference between a muted colour that works and a muted colour that is a bit muddy with yellow undertones that we usually need to avoid. So if you're wearing the right muted colour, you will be distinguished from the items that you're wearing, and your face will have some brightness and clarity about it. If you feel that when you're wearing the item and looking in the mirror, you're just merging with it, the chances are that it's the wrong pastel. Now, baby blue is often a colour that we wear, but then what is the right light baby blue? Here are some blues that I absolutely love wearing in the spring and summer, and you can see that they all actually do suit me. But what there is about them is that they're not dual toned, they are muted, but they're not washed with a yellowy beige. They're clear and soft. Then of course there's black. Now black is an elevated, expensive looking colour. Should we avoid black? Personally, I'm not avoiding black. However, if I want to look younger, not look sallow, and I can get away with wearing an alternative colour at that particular event I'm going to, then maybe I would wear the alternative. And that alternative is going to be the burgundies. Well, I absolutely love burgundy, especially as a monochromatic look, so that's elongating. In the autumn and winter, that's a very strong favourite of mine. Also, instead of maybe a navy, which can be very dark, look at an ink blue, which is slightly softer. Other alternatives, there are dark teals, there's charcoal. Then we've got the yellows, which we're often told as we get older, and I was told I needed to eliminate. So we've got the mustards, the rusts, the warm yellows, the oranges, the peaches, the corals. We've got olive, which is a green mixed with yellow. Those age us as well, and colours to avoid generally. Because, as I said, grey hair reflects cool light. And if our hair no longer has any gold in it, then yellow-based clothes are going to work against us. Yellow-based colours bounce sallow tones back onto the skin. This exaggerates shadows, darkness, unevenness, brings out yellow undertones in our hair. Now, talking of that yellow in our hair, that's not only from yellow toned clothes, but also it could be that we've got yellow in our grey hair because of pollution or because of sunshine. And a tip there is to use a purple shampoo once a month to actually bring out the coolness and the blueness of the grey hair again. What are we going to wear instead? Well, instead of those yellows, wear more blues. Instead of the reds, look for the pinks, the raspberries, the cranberry, the maroon, the magenta, the fuchsia. And now we're not talking here about warm versus cool, we're talking about yellow versus clear. So we're looking for the colours that haven't been washed with yellow. Now, as we age, we do need to introduce contrast. So this is a good example because it's a clear, soft colour that's giving me contrast. We can see my jawline, we can see my features. It's contrasting against my face. But those primary reds and yellows are too high a contrast, and they will overpower our softer features. One red I absolutely love is cherry red. I love the cherry red at Bowden. Now, I thought I want you to take away with you, before we talk about the decluttering in a minute, is that often people say to me, I know I look good in this colour because I often get compliments in this colour. Now, some people who make that compliment aren't actually noticing you in the colour. They're noticing the colour, they like the colour. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's actually a good colour on you. They may well not be noticing you. Now, if somebody says to you, you're looking well, there's a very good chance you're wearing colours that do suit you. Now, when it comes to decluttering and donating things that you think no longer suit you to the charity shop, do take care to test them. Take a photo of yourself in those pieces, and if any of them compared to the other pictures make you look bright and you pop and you can see your features above the item of clothing, then that's the one to keep. For those pictures in which you're looking absorbed by the item of clothing, the chances are that is not right for you. Concentrate on the pieces that are closer to your face, so scarves, polar necked sweaters, tops, knitwear, blazers, and then move downwards. We don't really need to be decluttering our trousers and our skirts unless they're of such a colour that they're not going to blend with and work with our new wardrobe. So if you've got some warm based trousers, they're really not going to look fantastic with cool based tops. So eventually you will get around to getting rid of those just because they don't work in your wardrobe. But that's going to be your second stage, I would say. And as for the colour that we can all wear, have you guessed it? It is teal. It's universally flattering because it sits between cool and warm. So if in doubt, fill your wardrobe up with teal. Now tell me in the comments, did you guess that one? Now, having got this far in this video, I am sure you're absolutely going to want to watch more within this series of the do's and don'ts and what's to wear in 2026. And I would suggest that you may want to go and have a look at footwear now. And I've got a video where I'm talking about boots. They're often a polarizing item and a problematic item. So that video is here and I'll see you over there.